This is the video for the 3-beat pattern found in the material from pages 51 to 53 in the book Fundamentals of Music and Directing Songs. The 3-beat pattern will add one motion to the 2-beat pattern you learned in video number 5. This pattern is used for the time signatures 3-2, 3-4, 3-8, 9-4, and 9-8. Now, as I've said before, you don't have to memorize those fractions. Later on, that's going to become second nature. It makes a motion of a downbeat, out, up, downbeat, and you kind of bounce when you hit the downbeat. Downbeat, out, up. If you put a lot of curves in it, then you're gonna lose that the very distinct beat that you have otherwise. And you can always look really elegant and like you're just really coordinated. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to put the beat out there for everyone. So you have the downbeat with the little bounce, out, up, down, out, up, bounce, out, up, bounce, out, up. And so be very, very careful that your beats are very visible to the congregation. Now, let's practice it without a metronome. I want you to get that motion memorized. So before we put any pressure on you to actually put those beats in a particular place, I want you to be, if you got to back up and do this more and more and more, different people will catch on faster than others. But what I want you to do is I want you to stay relaxed, bounce, out, up, bounce, and don't jerk it, bounce, out, up, bounce, out, up, bounce, out, up, bounce, out, up. And get that memorized so that you can do it in your sleep. Your spouse may not appreciate that, but get to where it's just automatic. Stay relaxed. Keep your palm open to your singers. I want you to feel each beat as you do this. And then, of course, eventually I want you to be practicing this with the metronome, even without a song. Just set a metronome going and just practice doing this beat. And do it in front of a mirror so that you can see what it looks like to your singers. They've got to live with this. They've got to know what you're doing. So set it so it's consistent and reliable. Now, I've got another, a slight variation to this that I really love. There was a song leader that I've known. He passed away last year, but he would use this pattern to incredible effect when he led songs. He's one of the best song leaders I ever knew. And so it goes down, and then you've got a slight out and down, and then up. Down, out, up. Down, out, up. Down, out, up. Down, out, up. And it comes down a little bit instead of that up as it traditionally happens. And so down, down, up. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Now I'm going to insert another variation right here, but as with the 2-beat pattern, I have to strongly caution you, you have to make sure that that downbeat is extremely emphasized in this so that you don't lose the downbeat in the pattern. The pattern has its downbeat, then that arc down and out like that last variation, but then it makes the same arc back to the center and down. And so the downbeat must be much longer, so it's emphasized. Then our arcs out and back are clearly the second and third beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you can't make that downbeat stand out, then go back to one of the first two variations. You may have to use the traditional pattern. Don't feel bad about that because it's a wonderful pattern. It gets the beat across beautifully. I simply like this because it's like a tapping foot or a bouncing ball. Everything is down, 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 one down, down, one down, down. Now, we need to try a few songs with this, and I'm going to set my my metronome to 95, and we're going to start off with Come Thou Almighty King. And so we have the key of G here. So, do, mi, so. Okay, and this starts without a pickup measure, so we're starting on the downbeat. We're going to do the traditional. I don't always tell you that ahead of time, and I apologize for that. But we're going to start with the traditional. Come thou. Well, let's start with the metronome. Come thou almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise. Father all glorious, o'er all victorious, come and reign over us, Ancient of Days. Okay, I want you to notice that we have rests in the midst of this song, that third measure, Almighty King to rest. When you come to a rest, it is initiated on the beat. That's where it's indicated. Think of the rest like a note. You hit the notes on the beat. So when does the rest begin? The rest begins on the beat. So we have 2 beats there, and then we rest. The composer put that rest in there for a reason. And if everybody honors it and you hear this song sung and that rest is in there, it is an emphasis. Silence doesn't seem like it would be an emphasis, but it is an emphasis. And so we have the word king standing out there. It just kind of rings in the mind as the silence goes on. And then we come in on a downbeat here and help us thy name to sing, to rest. Help us to praise, to rest. Okay, so let's do my variation of this with both the second and the third beat being down. So G again. Do, mi, so. Come thou almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise. Father all glorious, o'er all victorious, come and reign over us, Ancient of Days. Okay, so make sure you keep that downbeat very, very distinct and bold as you exercise that variation. And so now we want to do God is the Fountain Winds. My metronome is still going to be set to 95 beats per minute. We'll start with the traditional beat pattern. The key here is an F, so we blow the F. Do, do, mi, do. We're starting with the full measure. Traditional pattern. God is, let's start the metronome. God is the fountain whence 10,000 blessings flow. To him my life, my health, and friends, and every good I owe. Now I want you to notice something here on the second line of this song. We have a measure where 10,000 blessings flow, and there are 2 beats, and then we come right in on the third beat with the next line here. And so when we sing this, what happens is if we're singing it too fast or too slow, that doesn't sound quite right. And I look for places like this where the composer has done something that helps me to understand. So in this case, a lot of times we may sing this a little bit too fast. So it becomes, God is the fountain whence 10,000 blessings flow. And it sounds all right to there, but listen to what happens here. 10,000 blessings flow to him seems like we're rushing into it a little too much. And so I will tend to slow this song down a little bit. 3/4 songs are typically a little bit slower anyway. And so I like to try to honor that. Now let's use the variation, my variation of the second and third beat down for this. No. God is the fountain whence 10,000 blessings flow. To him my life, my health, and friends, and every good I owe. So if you'll keep that downbeat in place on that, you'll be able to use that beat pattern. But make extra sure that you are emphasizing the downbeat and keeping the second and third beats subdued or down here close to the playing field, as I like to call it. And so let's work on I Will Pray. I Will Pray is in the key of B flat. And I've got my metronome again set at 95. I think all 4 of these that we're working on today are going to be at 45. 3/4. While you beat it out, typically the song is a little bit slower. Of 95 beat per minute in another time signature may sound a lot faster, but in 3/4 time, it ends up coming out different because of the number of quarter notes and eighth notes that you may have. So here we have a B flat. Do. We're starting up high now. Do, mi. Traditional pattern. Father, in the morning unto thee I pray. Let thy loving kindness keep me through this day. I will pray, ever will I pray. Morning, noon, and evening unto thee I'll pray. Okay, so make sure you practice these with the metronome. You could see I was a little bit off there as I was doing this. And it takes a lot of work with the metronome to make sure you keep a consistent beat. And you say, well, I've got it in private when you're practicing. You get in front of a congregation, you've got other voices competing with you. And they need for you to really hold on to that metronome beat that you get clicking in your mind so that they will begin to respect you and understand that you really know what you're doing, and they'll get themselves up with you. So now let's do the variation on this. B flat. Do, do, mi. Father, in the morning unto thee I pray. Let thy loving kindness keep me through this day. I will pray, ever will I pray. Morning, noon, and evening unto thee I'll pray. Okay, so hopefully you're keeping that downbeat very distinct on that variation. If you can't do that, then go ahead and use the traditional pattern where you come up on the third beat. Now we want to work on far and near. This particular song is we're going to do a beat pattern, a beat per minute on this one of 110. So I was wrong a moment ago. We do have a difference here. And so 110 beats per minute for far and near. And again, I might say that these, my numbers for beat per minute, it's just my preference. It's not that there's some place where you go to find out what the number is and you set it and that's the right number. It's where I like to lead it. And what I did was, before I filmed this video, I went through these songs and I determined where I liked it. So keep that in mind. It's something that you have to work out for yourself. So here we have the key of A flat. So we blow an A flat and 110 beats per minute. We're going to use the traditional beat pattern first with our hand. Do, mi, far and near the fields are teeming with the waves of ripened grain. Far and near their gold is gleaming o'er the sunny slope and plain. Lord of harvest, bring forth reapers, hear us, Lord, to thee we cry. Send them now the sheaves to gather ere the harvest time pass by. Okay, some of the times I look down and I get my eyeballs on the wrong line and I know it doesn't sound right, but it kind of messed up the words there a little bit. And don't make a big thing about that if you do it in the pulpit. It's just one of those things, and just go on. You wouldn't when you were sitting in the pew doing that, and so you don't want to try to make faces and everything in the pulpit when you mess up like that. Okay, so now let's try it with the variation that I've given you. A flat. No, E. Far and near the fields are teeming with the waves of ripened grain. Far and near their gold is gleaming o'er the sunny slope and plain. Lord of harvest, send forth reapers, hear us, Lord, to thee we cry. Send them now the sheaves to gather ere the harvest time pass by. Okay, so hopefully that is getting very, very natural for you as you do these. Hopefully you're keeping the downbeat very, very distinct. Practice this in front of a mirror so you can see what your singers are seeing. They need a clear indication of the tempo, and the mirror will help you see if they are getting that. Also use the metronome so you get a consistent tempo built up in your mind, and you kind of get that clock-like feeling as you are doing the beat.